Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm showing you an update on a project that really hasn't seen much updates and has been kind of tossed into the box, and I've worked on it here and there, but I really haven't had a whole lot to show. So it's hard for me to realize that looking back in my videos, I haven't updated this since August and I haven't touched it much. So in the past 9 months I have done a little bit of work to it, but it has been sitting, but there's been some challenges. Now, for those of you that are new to my channel, I've had this for going on for a long time. I've got a lot more subscribers than I did 9 months ago, and this thing's been one of those projects where it's a holy grail of mine. I really like it. I want to, do it right and do justice, and it's just fought with me here and there. And the last time you saw it, I was painting the hood. So this hood has been painted, I've lost track how many times. And I think it was even stripped one more time and painted again since you guys last seen it. So when I was working on it, the body was completely stripped and painted, and I had done the hood. Now my decals I had were very old and I was nervous about using them. So I decided I was going to paint the stripes on, and I did a really good job. My other Baldwin motion where I painted the white stripes on the blue, but this one having, Tamiya spray, and then Tamiya's acrylic transparent yellow on top to give it this Aztec gold look, which I'm loving the way this is coming out. But I've had a few challenges where the black didn't quite stick, it peeled off pretty easy, it didn't etch very well, and I ended up having to strip this hood. So it's been painted, stripped, and then because I had to paint this again, I had a really hard time getting it to color match. So I put too many layers of the transparent yellow on it, and I made it darker than the body. So now I finally got it to where it's a pretty nice match. So you can see it right there. And I was hesitant. I almost wanted to strip this whole body and do it all over again. Because it's sometimes easier to get it to match when you paint all of it at the same time. So, a couple other little things. Now, since I had so many problems with the decals, and I had a vintage sheet, I had actually contacted Kenny Terry. Here's the vintage sheet I had, which is, easily 20 years old, and it's also kind of grainy. So I had scanned this and I sent this to Kenny Terry, and he was able to clean it up and he reproduced the set for me. So, and I had to make me 4 sets. This is just one of them. So I had to make me 4 sets in case I messed up. Now, unfortunately, I had this done 8 months ago or so is when he helped me out. Unfortunately, he got sick and he had passed away, so he's no longer with us. But I do appreciate what he did, and what he did for the hobby and everything, because he did a lot of decals for a lot of people. But that kind of made it a little harder to keep working on this. So I've got multiple sets here in case I mess up, and I'm glad I did that. But unfortunately, with his passing, it kind of made me lose a little bit of motivation to work on this as well. But I have been playing with it. So, and because of the way the decals are made, I had to shoot the back half black. So I had masked it off and I shot the back half black, and then I'll get the decals stuck on here and continue on. Now you can see where it's kind of dull and kind of shiny. Where I masked it, there's usually a paint edge. So I carefully just masked and sanded that edge down so that hopefully with the decal lays on it, it'll minimize the lip. The lip won't go away completely. The only way to actually do that, and hopefully there isn't a color change because it's hard black to black decal. Sometimes you can still see a shade difference. But I'll put the decals on, then I can clear coat the whole thing and possibly color sand it to get rid of the lip and polish it. That's one way to do it, but I don't know if I'm going to get that far yet. But this one has been on and off my desk. It's been kind of a challenge, and I got the photo etch sheet right here. Here's all the emblems, which I need the GT, the 427, and I think these motion ones will go on the side of the hood. Not really sure. And so I gotta attach these photo etch, also get the decals in this photo etch, and clean up the letters a little bit if I need to do the detail painting, and then clear coat the whole body. So hopefully it won't be much longer for any updates on this one. It is kind of back on my desk. It's been a bit of a struggle for me, but I just want you to know what's going on. I'll do some more work to it and update this video. So stick around and we'll see how it progresses, and hopefully I don't have any more challenges. Alright, she's starting to look really good here. I got a layer of the decals on and laid out, and she's looking really good here. I'm pretty excited about it. I had to put some black in the creases here because when it sunk down it split, which I was expecting, but I'm just I brush painted a little bit of black in there, and got the decals laid on, and I'm pretty excited about it. And you can see in the finish here, the matte finish versus the gloss finish on where the decal actually is, and that should be less apparent once it's re-cleared over all of this. So I'll clear coat it. And but if the camera's picking it up there, it's a little opaque, transparent, so you can kind of see some of the gold through the decals there. So especially apparent right there, but you can see where the decal ends and the gloss paint begins. And so I'm glad I had 4 sets made, because I'm definitely going to have to double it up. So I got another set of decals here laid out, trimmed, and I'll start sticking them on. But I figured if the camera would pick up the transparency, I would show you that, and before I put on a second layer here, because this happens sometimes with the aftermarket decals, or decals in general. I've had it happen even with factory decals, but usually the factory decals are really thick and they don't lay down as nicely as the aftermarket ones do most of the time. It really depends on who makes them, but a lot of the ones that are printed, they lay down really thin, and they are very thin. But here's one of the side effects when they are that thin, is they can be a bit transparent. So I'm glad I had extra sets made, and the thought was there that maybe I'll do another one of these or make another body, because I've got extra photo etch sets and the parts, but another body I'd have to modify or make my own Baldwin motion body. Really liking the way this is really coming out now, finally getting somewhere with it. So I'll be putting on another layer of decals here and see what that looks like and get some clear on it. Alright, just real quick here. Got a few more on here. I got a second layer of decal on back here and on the side here, so you can see how much darker that has become and less transparent compared to right up here. So I laid those two on. Getting the stripes to line back up and sync up with the other ones is kind of a pain, especially when they stretch. So I got those two, letting them dry, and I'll do this one and all the rest of them. So I do a piece at a time. Takes a little while because you don't want to touch the decal after you've done it. And then also I got this center section here done, so that's got the second layer on it versus this C stripe. So it should show the difference there. But I'll just keep working on this, and then it'll be ready. And then I'll get the photo etch on and clear coat it, but I don't know if I'll get to that today, as I got decals I'm putting on multiple cars. I got a Cuda and Roadrunner that I'm getting some decals as well. Just a few things going on my desk right now, but I'll keep on this and keep you updated. Now that I finally got all the layers of decals on, I'm really excited about how she's starting to look here. And I also got the photo etched emblems on. So 2 layers of decals on this Aztec Gold style paint job here, which, if you've been following along, is Tamiya spray gold, and then Tamiya clear orange or clear yellow sprayed on top of it, and then blacked the tail panel out and put the decals on with. So 2 layers of decals on here, and so they're pretty solid black now, so really no transparency, and she's looking great. But I got the motion decal or photo etched on the side of the hood here, on both sides of course, and then the GT 427 right there, and then motion and GT on the back tail panel right there. So the photo etch is kind of a pain to put on there, but you can see the decals. It's almost ready for clear. I just need to paint the red in the 427 and white in the GT. I did get the black in there on the motion ones on the hood and on the back, but I'm kind of running out of time, and I wanted to get this video finished real quick for you guys so I can get it out there. She's almost ready for a moment to clear, and I've got 3 of them to put some clear on, so this weekend I'll be spraying some clear on all of these, so we'll see what updates I have on that. She's looking really good, and I'm really excited about this one. And if you follow these cars, there's only 10 of these Phase 3 GTs that were built, and they're not all the same, so I'm taking some of my favorite elements of each one and not building a true replica of one specific car. But I'm throwing some of the motion elements all into this one and really enjoying it. I really like the way this one's coming out. So I hope you guys like it, and we'll get this one, keep going here, and try not to touch those photo etch elements because I don't want them to come off. I popped a 7 on the other side once, caught it, and I had to bend it back and get in there. Plus, somewhere on my table is one of these G's. It's floating around here somewhere. You know, maybe I'll find it, maybe I won't, but thankfully I've got extra sets. But thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and watching. I really appreciate it, and all of your comments. And you guys, you have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you next Saturday.